Himesh Prabhakar. Welcome to Automotive Electronics lecture series. In my previous lecture, I start new chapter, Sensors and Actuator. In that lecture, we have discussed about the sensor. Now, we discuss in this chapter about engine crankshaft angular position sensor. Then we discuss about the throttle angle sensor. So in this lecture, we will discuss about these two types of sensor. So now we start with the first one, engine crankshaft angular position sensor. Now, as name indicate, the function of this sensor is to provide the information about the angular position of the engine crankshaft. So now the function. So the functional objective for the crankshaft position sensor is to determine the engine RPM, then the precise position of engine crankshaft and the relative engine speed. So this information is provided by the engine crankshaft angular position sensor. Now the engine control unit use the information transmitted by the sensor to control parameters such as ignition timing and fuel injection timing. So by using this sensor's data, the engine control unit, that means the ECU, is control the ignition timing and fuel injection timing. Now we discuss about the types of engine crankshaft angular position sensor. So there are mainly three types. First one type is magnetic reluctance position sensor. Then the second one type is Hall effect position sensor. And third one type is optical crankshaft position sensor. So the engine crankshaft position sensor is mainly divided into three types. First one is the magnetic reluctance position sensor. Then the second one is the Hall effect sensor. And third one is the optical crankshaft position sensor. So now we discuss about the first one type is the magnetic reluctance position sensor. So here we use the principle of the magnetism. So now first we discuss about the element of this sensor. So in this figure we can see, so the first element for this sensor is an iron rotor with the lobes on it. So here we can see this is the rotor and this is the tag, or we can say the lobe on this plate. Now the second one is the permanent magnet. So here we can see this is the permanent magnet, the NS, we can say North Pole and South Pole, here we can see. So this is the permanent magnet. Now the third one element is the metallic part. So here in this, between these two magnets, we can see this is the magnetic part. So this is the useful for carrying the magnetic flux. And the last one is the coil. So here we can see on this magnet, this is the coil. A coil wound around the magnetic part in which the voltage is introduced. So in this coil, the voltage is introduced. So this is the main component, or we can say the elements of this sensor. Now we discuss about the working principle of this sensor. So the reluctant disc, that means this disc, has a number of taps on it. So here we can see this is the 4 taps on this reluctance disc on it, and these tabs are made to move through the air gap in the magnetic circuit. So this tap is passed through this magnetic circuit, or we can say the air gap in between this magnetic circuit. The movement of the reluctance tap through the air gap is achieved by rotation of the reluctor shaft. The voltage induced in the sensor coil is related to the rate of change of magnetic flux in the magnetic circuit. The faster the rate of the change of the magnetic flux, the larger will be the voltage that is generated in the sensor coil. That means in this coil. As the rate of change of magnetic flux is increased, the voltage is generated inside this coil is also increased. When the metallic tap, that means this tap, on the reluctant rotor is outside the air gap, the sensor voltage is 0. That means if this tap is outside this air gap, then at that time the circuit is show the 0 voltage. And as the tap moves into the air gap, the flow of the magnetism increase rapidly. That means if the tap is moved inside the air gap, then the magnetism is increased. So here we discuss about this is the waveform that is generated by this sensor. So in order to produce a top dead center, that means TDC position reference, there is a missing tap on the reluctant disc, which means that the TDC position is marked by the absence of the voltage. So here we can see this is the missing tap, the continuous wave we can see, and there is no wave. So it indicates the position of the TDC, or we can find out the position of the TDC by using the missing tap concept. Now we discuss about the second one type of the sensor, and it is the Hall effect sensor. So the name is given because it used the concept of the Hall effect and is work on the principle of the Hall effect. So now we first understand what is the Hall effect. So here figure show the principle of the Hall type sensor. The Hall element is a small section of the semiconductor material such as silicon. Here first we talk about the first one figure. So in the figure A, the battery will cause the current to flow through the semiconductor Hall element and the battery circuit, but there will be no current in the circuit which is right angle to the battery circuit, as shown by 0 reading on the voltmeter. So here in this circuit, so here we can see there is a two circuit, circuit 1 in the left hand side and circuit 2 in the right hand side. So when we apply the voltage on the semiconductor sheet in the circuit 1, so at that time the circuit, that means the voltage is produced or the current is flow in the circuit 1. But at that time there is no voltage is introduced in the second circuit. That's why the voltmeter is give the 0 reading. That means there is no voltage. Now consider the second one figure, figure B. When the magnet field is imposed, so here in the figure we can see the north pole and south pole of the magnet we have placed. So when the magnet field is imposed on the Hall element, as shown in the figure, a current will be flow in the circuit 2. So here we can see as we place the magnet in the circuit, there is a voltage, or we can say current is flow, and due to that the voltage is produced. So the voltmeter is indicates some voltage reading. Now we consider the third one case, that means in the figure C. So when the magnetic effect is prevented from the reaching the Hall element, as in shown in this figure C, the current will cause to flow in circuit 2. That means if we place any sheet in between the magnet and the circuit part, then there will be no voltage flow in the circuit 2. The result is that the current in the circuit 2 can be switched on and off by shielding the Hall element from the magnetic field. That means by placing this magnetic sheet in between the magnet and the circuit, or removing the sheet, we can on and off the current flow in the circuit 2. Now this principle is used in the Hall effect sensor. So here how it works in the crankshaft position measurement we can see. So in this sensor, a steel disc having a tap and the magnet for the coupling the disc to the sensing element. Still, this vary the reluctance of the magnetic path as the tap pass between the magnet pole. This sensor is useful for measuring the angular position of the shaft, that means crankshaft, relative to the reference line. And last one type of the sensor that is used for the measuring the crankshaft position is the optical crankshaft position sensor. So here we use the optical principle. So now we discuss first one about the arrangement of this sensor. So the disc is directly coupled to the crankshaft. So here with this disc is connected with the crankshaft. So as the crankshaft is rotated, this disc is also rotated. This time the disc has holes in that correspond to the number of taps on the disc on the magnetic system. Mount on each side of the disc are fiber optic light pipes. The hole in the disc allows the transmission of the light through the light pipe from the light emitting diode source to the phototransistor used as a light sensor. So here we use LED, that is light emitting diode, that transmit the light, and the other side we use the photodetector. We know the basic principle of the LED. LED convert the electrical signal into the light signal, and the opposite principle of the LED is the photodiode. So photodiode or the phototransistor is convert the light energy into the electrical signal. So as the disc rotate, when the whole portion is come, the light is passed to the LED to the photodiode. So at that time the voltage is introduced. But if the whole portion is not come, so at that time there is no current or the voltage is introduced in the photodiode. So now we discuss about the working. The light would not be transmitted from source to sensor when there is no hole, because the solid disc block the light. On the other hand, whenever a disc hole is aligned with one of the fiber optic light pipe, the light from the LED pass through the disc to the phototransistor. Now we discuss about the throttle angle sensor. In most automobile, the throttle plate is linked mechanically to the accelerator pedal and move with it. So in the left hand side we can see the throttle plate and the alpha that indicate the throttle angle. So as we press the accelerator pedal, according to that, this angle, that means the throttle plate angle, is varied. So the function of this throttle angle sensor is to measure this variation and give the information to the ECU. When the driver depresses the accelerator pedal, this linkage causes the throttle plate angle to increase, allow more air to enter the engine, and thereby increasing engine power. Now we discuss the working principle of this throttle angle sensor. So the variable resistance transducer element work on the principle that the resistance of the conductor is directly proportional to the length of the conductor and inversely proportional to the area of the conductor. Now we understand by using this equation. So we know that the R is equals to rho L upon A. That means here this L is indicate the length of this conductor and the A is indicate the area of the conductor. So if the area is changed or the length of the conductor is changed, then the resistance is also changed. And this basic principle is used by this total angle sensor. Now we understand the working. The sensor is usually mounted on the throttle body. It sends the position of the throttle valve or butterfly valve. This is another name of the throttle valve. It is known as the butterfly valve, and transmit the information to the engine control unit, that means ECU. This sensor monitors how far down the accelerator pedal is pushed and give the output current, determining the position of the pedal. The position of the pedal controls the airflow of the engine. If the valve is wide open, a large amount of air is supplied to the engine and vice versa. The output given by this sensor along with the other sensor is transmitted to the engine control unit, which decide the amount of fuel to be injected into the engine accordingly. This sensor is a 3-wire potentiometer. So here we can see through the first wire a 5-volt power is applied to the sensor resistive layer. We can see the second wire is used as a ground, whereas the third wire is connected to the potentiometer wiper and provide input to the engine control unit. So this is the arrangement for the throttle angle sensor. So in this lecture we have discussed about the two types of the sensor. First we discussed about the engine crankshaft angular position sensor, and then we have discussed about the throttle angle sensor. Thank you. Hello and welcome to our channel Electronics and Communication Engineering. Congratulations to find us for learning. You are watching a lecture session on automotive electronics that has approx 15 sessions and more are coming up. We have more than 1200 sessions in various lecture series on courses for electronics and communication engineering. Watch it and learn. If you like it, share it, subscribe it and press bell icon to receive all updates on new session. Enjoy learning.